Hi, I'm Natalie Arias, and I'm here to talk to you today about my favorite educational philosopher and founding father, Thomas Jefferson. And he lived during the Enlightenment era, otherwise known as the Age of Reason. During that time, education was woefully unacceptable. Most citizens had no educational opportunities. The only education they received was from their mothers and possibly in Sunday school, unless they were an elite Southern gentleman like Thomas Jefferson, who received formal training from very young age all the way up through and including college, which he received his undergraduate degree at the College of William and Mary. However, all of his education was taught to him by Anglican ministers. And Thomas Jefferson believed in his philosophy that was really based on a strong personal faith in God and Jesus. And he believed Jesus was the great educational reformer and wanted to emulate the morality lessons and developed a curriculum around the teachings of Jesus Christ. Most people close to Thomas Jefferson did not know his personal faith. He was accused of being an atheist publicly by several people that opposed him, most notably John Adams in a presidential campaign. And he would never rise to defend his faith. He would never discuss it in public because he believed very strongly in the personal freedom of the right to religion. He developed his own personal prayer book, which was based on the gospel truths, which if you look behind me, you can see the Jefferson Bible, which is what that is called today, but it's based on the gospel truths, and it's right next to my bobblehead doll of TJ. So some of Jefferson's most notable accomplishments he had put on his obelisk, and in his opinion, the top three most notable accomplishments of his were the writing of the Declaration of Independence, which in Jefferson's own pursuit of education, he determined to educate himself over several years' time after he graduated from the College of William and Mary and was in an apprenticeship to become an attorney. He spent 15-hour days every day for years learning about antiquity era philosophers all the way up to the modern era, and really wanted to emulate the works of John Locke and incorporated the thoughts of pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and incorporated that his personal faith into that, and wrote the Declaration of Independence to King George III of Great Britain, which you could say he was his biggest opposer because it led to the Revolutionary War. And there were other people that opposed Jefferson after his time, such as Robert Owen, who was an educational philosopher that was a Federalist, much like Alexander Hamilton and John Adams, that believed in strong central government. However, Owens believed in this on an international level and really wanted to see one huge, strong government society, which was in complete opposition to Jefferson, as well as another educational philosopher of John Dewey, who was a progressive that really felt that the only truth was what you could prove scientifically, and Jefferson believed in the gospel truths as well. Dewey felt that Christians were in denial of death, and that's why they believed things that he felt could not be scientifically proven, whereas Jefferson had a very deep and strong faith in Jesus Christ. He showed a lot of diversity in what he did. Back to his obelisk, one of his other accomplishments was the right of freedom of religion. It was a bill that he authored in Virginia as a legislator that was passed into law because he felt that the ultimate freedom was the mind, and that God created the mind to be free, and without the freedom to believe what we want, that no one could ever really truly be free. So he authored this bill and believed in it wholeheartedly, to the point where he was persecuted politically for being an atheist by his people that opposed him the most, even though it couldn't have been further from the truth. He also showed diversity in his founding of the University of Virginia and bills that he authored that were later passed into law with the help of James Madison, for a public education in Virginia, which he felt was necessary to create an informed society, because without an informed society, there could be no future freedom or government that was limited by the people for the people. So his educational philosophy and political philosophy really went hand in hand, and he really wanted this for all citizens. So he wanted education for all citizens, including females. And his first bill that he authored as a legislator was for the emancipation of slaves, which unfortunately did not pass, which he had tried several times throughout his career, beginning from the very first act as writing the bill as a legislator to the very last year of his life, when he supported his son-in-law, who at the time was a governor, who was advocating for the emancipation of slaves. So all in all, Thomas Jefferson really embodied how to advocate for others, to love God and love others, love the love of man, and to serve others. And he did this through his advocacy for all to receive an education, and for the freedom of people's minds to think and feel what they want, to truly be able to embrace their beliefs and accept and move forward in their opportunities. Thank you.